What up? We're live, and I am going to share my screen really quick so I don't forget, because sometimes I do forget. And now I'm going to grab the link as soon as Zoom finally decides it's ready to actually go. There we go. Okay. What up? We're live. Okay. And I don't look at the chat in there, so if you want to participate or whatever, then you're going to need to do it in Discord. And you can go to kcd.im/discord-kent-live, and you'll find that there. And I was going to grab the invite link. There we go. So that folks can join the Zoom if they'd like to. Okay, and let me pin this. Okay, sweet. So here I am in the React Fundamentals workshop. I've already moved a lot to TypeScript, but I need to turn on strict mode and stuff and see what things look like with all of that. So, and actually, I'm not even sure if I've gotten the TypeScript finished type checking anyway. So that's what we're going to start with right now. I've got a type check script that will run really quick. And it looks like we are not quite there on this. So yeah, we've got this handle submit. Now, yeah, I thought that I'd handled this elsewhere. Yeah, here it is. So we'll just do the same thing. And I'll show you what I mean right here. So what's going on here is current target is referring to the form, because that's where we're putting the submit handler on. And then elements is the elements of the form. And then username input will be this username input because of its ID. Works also if you have a name on there, it'll be the same. But TypeScript doesn't know that. It can't infer this, though it should be able to, I think, feasibly would make sense that it could, but it can't. So what we're going to do is, instead of saying that this is a synthetic event on a form element, thought this, yeah, on a form element, then this is actually going to be on the username form element. And now we'll get our username input because we overwrite the elements to say, hey, this is our form elements, which includes a username input. And so that fixes that, which is nice. Here we're going to say, whoops, I know we're going to need this to be a string. And we'll want to type this also. The username string void. Except without the E, because that doesn't make any sense. Okay, cool. So let's actually turn on watch mode here. And we have no errors. Okay, cool. That's great. So now we're going to turn on strict. And we'll see how bad things get. 31 errors. Okay, not too bad. Set items is angry about this because yeah, it's an array of ID and value, and this is mad because ID string, value string. Oh, or undefined. Oh, right, because find could be undefined. That makes sense. Filter. So yeah, I guess we could do. Yeah, because technically doing find on this, it's possible that you will not find what you're looking for and you end up with undefined. So we can filter it, but TypeScript won't understand this. And so what we can say is filter falsy. And this is going to be an item, or this will be, yeah. And then return not item, or not, yeah, Boolean of item. And then this is going to say it returns item is not undefined. Not, is that a thing? I don't think so. Yeah. So it is object, I can't remember, or array. Yeah, array or function. Why is this complaining? Oh, right, because it's generic, yeah. Now, really, all we care about is that it is an object. Okay. Why is this complaining still? Or undefined. That should technically work. Hold on a second. Somebody helped me with this a while ago. TypeScript, Boolean, filter. Dang it. Here we go. Typed Boolean. This is Peter shared this with me. Yeah, narrow type array with this, and somebody. Yeah, okay. There we go. Now it's happy. Okay, so yeah, this is actually better anyway. So it allows it to be generic, which is kind of interesting. Yeah. So it's not any of these things. I'm interesting that in this case, we're going to be passing Interesting. So what this is saying is that you're going to take a value and you're going to return whether the value is not one of these things, including what it is. I need to dig into this a little bit further. So if we make a not what it is thing. Okay, what is this? Maybe exclude doesn't do it. I think it does. Oh, I see. Exclude from T those types that are assignable to you. I see. I sort of see. Hold on. Still trying to figure that one out. Okay, so it's saying T is not any of these things. Yeah, that's what it's saying. Okay, that makes sense. Cool. So now we're going to filter out anything that's not quite right. You know, when I re-record these to do the TypeScript version of all of this, I think that I'm going to probably, in some cases, I'm going to skip the TypeScript stuff, and then I'll have like an additional video that's like, okay, now that we've written it, let's make this type safe or something. Because by default, it's going to be, I'm not going to have strict mode on, maybe. I don't know. I'll have to play around with how I present this. And that's why I'm probably going to do a workshop, like a live workshop first, so I can get a good idea of how to present this. Anyway, yeah, this is an implicit any. So this needs to be type of items, all items. That would work. Let's do this. Type item. It's ID of a string and a value of a string. And then we can just do this. Cool. All right. We've got a couple of things here that we want to put in to this, I think. Oh, this is just the focus demo. Okay, so we probably could bring over that item type at least. Wait, HTML input element. Probably better to go with unknown there. Okay. Oh, there it is. I guess we can make this a generic. That's interesting. Oh, I guess we can say this extends array unknown. Why is this complaining? Okay, so this is saying type array type. So this is saying array type of number. Hold on a second. How does that happen? So it's array type extends a known array. And so this should be array type, but it's saying it's, I'm not sure what this syntax actually means. And why won't it let me right there, right here, this open bracket number thing? I'm not sure what that means. So let's just see what AST Explorer says. So here we have the type reference, and it's an index type. So the whole thing is an array type. So we're saying we need an array of these, and indexed access type. Type reference. Number keyword. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure I understand what this is trying to say and why our copy of this array ends up being this type. Do we need it to be like, I guess we don't. We can just let it do what it's doing. Sure. All right. That's one of those where you're like, I think I'm just going to be satisfied with what it is. It is what it is. Okay. So we've got a couple of these. Let's fix all of these at once. Oops. Okay. Now comes a big question here. In 6, we start the submit handler, and I can either type it out like this. I don't like that. Of course, I'm gonna have to type it out anyway since I'm using this username input. Yeah, and it's probably better to show people how to type it out, because alternatively, and maybe I can show both actually, because in this one we use an on change and a handle submit. So maybe for the change, you can say event set username, event current target value to lowercase, and then it can infer that type because it's on the input. React change event. Sweet. Yeah, let's go with that. I like that. But then here, our handle submit can be a full thing. And I can just say, hey, this demonstrates that, which is kind of interesting. And I'm going to need to borrow this. Okay, and this is mad because error can only be null, but we actually want it to be null or string. There we go. And then this is complaining because we need to initialize our ref to null, and we need to not get the value if current is not set. Oh, and on submit username. Oh, could be undefined. Right, because if that's not defined, yeah, okay, fine. So say if username input ref current. We don't need this. Nope. Okay, cool. Moving quickly through here. Now this is complaining because not assignable to type null or undefined. Oh, right, we got to type this. So this is going to be style. Here, actually, React intrinsic. Isn't there like an intrinsic? I can't remember. JSX intrinsic attributes. I don't know what that even is. If I'm being totally honest, React attributes. Mm-hmm. Okay, here, let's see. I don't think I've ever done this before. Or at least, no, I have done it before. It's just been I can't remember how you do it. TypeScript, wrap, div, props. Intrinsic elements. Okay, so my props extend React HTML attributes HTML div element. Okay. Okay, cool. And this is mad because null is not assignable to the type. So we need to say style can be the style prop, or we could just default it to an object. There we go. That works just as well. And then size is going to be, I can't remember. I think in the end, yeah, I had it required, but I think I don't want it to be required. And we'll just say size can be small or medium, whoops, or large or undefined. And then we can default it to, or actually, yeah. Yeah. Okay. And why is this yelling at me? Oh, right. Or not undefined, but just not required. There we go. Sweet. $247 more. Tons of stuff. But then here you go, box. You're like ID, or look, we've got tab index, or all that stuff. All that stuff is right there. That's cool. Okay, Cool. So let's come back over here and see what we can do with this one. Lots of the same stuff. And actually on this one, we don't have a size, and the style will just default it to an empty object. Yep, that's all we need for that. Cool. And then for this one, we don't even have a thing. And this is like, hey, you don't need React. So that's interesting. Okay, cool. Let's keep going in the exercise file now. Yeah, this one, the exercise is like silly easy. So what we're going to do is I'll just copy that. We'll come here. I shouldn't say silly easy. It's like silly minimal. There's not a lot to do. And we'll get rid of the key. And then we'll add that comment back. There we go. Okay, and then we've got our tests here. This label could be null. I don't want to do this because then if label and input are not found, that will result in expect undefined to be undefined, and the test would pass. This would not be a good thing. So what we'll do instead is we'll say, I wonder label to be defined. No, that doesn't count as a type guard, which is a shame. So we'd say if not label or not input, then throw new error blah. That work? Okay, cool. So we can just say, please make sure to not remove the label and input in the li elements. And alert. Orange container could be undefined. As HTML element. We'll just cast that. That's fine. That will fail if it does end up being null. So it's okay. But it wouldn't be a very helpful error message. So we'll say if not orange container can't, oops, we're going to need find the li for orange. This is very unlikely to happen, but it's possible. So, okay. Great. So we got rid of all the TypeScript errors, even in strict mode. So that's nice. So I think probably now is a good time for a checkpoint commit, and then we can start improving the exercises with TypeScript specifically and everything. So let's make this. Oh, and actually tsconfig, we're going to turn off strict mode. I don't want strict mode making it difficult for people to go through this if they don't know TypeScript. So we're going to keep that off. TS strict mode works now. Okay, and actually we're going to make a new branch called next. And we're going to push that. TS main. I think that'll delete the branch I just deleted, but I'm not sure. Maybe not. Okay. Oops. Come on. I don't know where that came from. Somebody made a pull request and something, I'm not sure. So let's go to branches. We'll just delete. Hold on a second. Right. Yes, that was nice of them. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to delete this one and that one and that one. And let's just check all branches. Okay, good. Hey there, Jacob.
Hey. I just got like my time limited by Zoom with the raid group.
Oh yeah, yeah. You have 40 minutes.
Yeah, I was like, oh wow, I did not realize that much time passed.
Yeah, that really is a shame. I mean, you could use Google Meet or something like that where it doesn't have that limit. There's not a whole lot that you get out of Zoom that you couldn't get out of something like that.
Yeah.
For what you're doing, so.
The Discord, I personally find is like got issues sometimes, just like with when you have a lot of people connected, you start to feel like there's like a lag happening.
Yeah, it's really strange to me because that's kind of their whole deal.
It was.
That like streaming games, that's like a huge part of what Discord is. But then streaming is just does not work very well. And then of course, if you wanted to record it, then Discord won't help you there. So.
Yeah. No, I've been like on and off Discord for like, man, probably up to like almost 10 years, right?
Hmm.
It's just been one of those things that I use because I game a lot. And I remember when like all this Nitro stuff and all this other stuff didn't exist. And like you just had access to like all these emojis all the time. Like, it was way different. Like the whole ecosystem was entirely like.
How did they make money?
Free for all. I don't know. I don't know how I made money.
That's funny. Well, anyway, I'm just here converting all this stuff to TypeScript now, and I just finished getting it all to totally pass type checking. So now I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to do to like change the actual exercises and stuff. I'm going to look at feedback and stuff like that.
Are you still interested in the raid picking up that Babel library of yours?
Which one was it? Sorry.
Oh man. Which
Oh
one
yeah. The thing I posted a while back. Yeah, you can do that if you want to. It really like I don't need it done. I'm not waiting on it or anything. So it's just could be a nice thing for people using Preval. So if people want, if anybody is looking for something to do, then that's kind of a fun one. And there's a reference implementation with CodeGen, so you can do something similar to what CodeGen is doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with the fundamentals. I think with the HTML stuff, I'm gonna keep that. The problem is you can't really do or benefit from TypeScript in this context. So I think we're just gonna stick with regular JavaScript, no TypeScript at all. We do get into JSX in the HTML, so there's that. Yeah, ultimately we create a component. So you could type this, but I don't think you'd get any. Oh, and actually I did teach prop types. I will not teach prop types anymore. Nobody, yeah, no prop types. There's value in it. Here, I gotta ask actually. Let's find out.
Here we go, Twitter.
Yeah.
Kent, are you migrating React Fundamentals?
Uh-huh.
Cool.
I mean, I can tell you right now that I will remove prop types.
Yeah, me too, if it's TypeScript.
Not even if it's not TypeScript, I'll remove prop types.
Really? Living on the edge there. Yeah, I'm trying to think if whether or decide whether to include the qualifier if you use TypeScript. Do you use prop types? But that one's basically no way. I don't know anybody who's using prop types with TypeScript. Well, there are a small handful of them. So I think I'm just going to unqualified. If you use React, do you also use prop types? Yes.
Yeah. So the thing that I do, and this is like not something I'm like suggesting other people do, but what I will do is I will deconstruct the props and then put default params on those props. It's not the same as having to say like is required on something or whatnot, but I don't like prop types, and I do prefer TypeScript over regular JavaScript anyways. So
yeah, if I were not using TypeScript, I would absolutely recommend prop types for like application code that I want maintained and I have like other developers working on.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel you on that, Kent, but every situation I've seen where prop types are being used, they're never maintained. That just and that it becomes like its own issue where it's just like, oh man.
Yeah, I can feel you. So far we've got 24. After you get past like 100, then the percentages don't really change very much. But I'll paste. Oh, whoops, that was I didn't copy this to my clipboard. There we go. In case anybody wants quick access to this.
I think the answer is no, by the way.
Yeah. Now, I think people would answer differently if my question was, should I teach prop types? Because a lot of people are like, I never use it, but you totally should teach it. It's like, wait, why? If you never ever use it, like, do I really need to teach the with keyword in JavaScript? Like, most people listening to me say that don't even know what it is because you never use it. Nobody uses that. I've used it, but only when I'm doing really weird stuff that I wouldn't expect any product developer to ever need. So, yeah. Yeah.
Jacob, did you tell Kent about we migrating from Svelte to React and all the pain and stuff?
Wait, what?
Yeah. So our website was going to be in Svelte.
The OSS raid group?
Yeah. It was good. The website was going to be in Svelte. Not anymore. We kept running into mostly tool chain headaches pertaining to Svelte. And
I thought that was one of the appeals of Svelte was that you don't have to worry about that stuff.
Yeah. Well, no. So what we ended up doing, because like besides the tool chain headaches and just trying to get those things to work and kind of hacking things to work like ESLint and TypeScript and stuff, we were just like, you know what, forget it. We're just gonna use Snowpack and React. So we're using Snowpack. Snowpack has like a React template, and we're gonna be using that.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, and still using TypeScript.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'll be interested to hear how things go with Snowpack. I've never used it, so it sounds like kind of fun.
Yeah, the Snowpack 3 just came out too, and it has like some really really neat benefits like streaming packages and stuff like that. Like I don't even know entirely what it means or what it does, but
It sounds awesome.
it sounds awesome.
Sounds fast. Yeah, so this is a pretty strong on the nose, but still quite a few people using prop types, interestingly.
The question
But
the question is are they using something in instead of like, so are they using TypeScript or are they using Flow?
yeah, I'm guessing most of these people who yeah, I'd say most people are using TypeScript instead. I mean, based on the React.js or the JavaScript survey, the State of JS survey, most people are using TypeScript.
Yeah.
So that's probably why we are getting so many no's. And so I'm going to say we are not going to teach prop types. The nice thing is that like I teach prop types in other videos that you can find for free. So if you really need to learn prop types, I have stuff for you that you can go and learn prop types. But yeah, you're not going to learn it from Epic React in the future. But I wonder if
Epic React.
Sorry, what?
No, I said it's Epic React. I mean, I meant in a good way, in a sort of a future React sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like I'm not going to teach you stuff that you don't need to know, and most people won't need to know prop types, especially like this is the numbers today, but by the time I finally get around to re-recording this, the numbers will be even further in the direction that we're going anyway. So yeah, so we're gonna get rid of prop types, but I wonder if I can get an HTML file working with TypeScript in any useful way, at least so that the editor will show the types and stuff. So we're gonna try that. Say subject is string, and this will depend on whether Babel standalone includes the TypeScript plugin.
Oh, I see. It's React Fundamentals. So you import the links. Okay, I see now.
Yeah. But it looks like the editor is not having this.
What is there a like a file annotation you could put at the top that like is telling it that has TypeScript in it? Because it probably is just like saying this is HTML.
Yeah, that's not going to work. So that's okay though, because in the next exercise is when we don't actually start doing TypeScript in the exercise, but we do create a component right here, and this will be the first introduction to typing a React component. Would probably be a good idea to introduce that earlier though. So I'm kind of thinking that number 4, I wonder if maybe I could make number 4 extra credit 5 be a JS file. So we just transition mid exercise. We say, okay, now for this one, we're going to switch over to TypeScript so that we, and that's like, yeah, I think that can make sense. So I'm just going to stop talking and just type something. So
yeah, I got you, Kent. Here, check this out.
does that actually work?
I got it from Stack Overflow, so it's 50-50.
Yeah, I'm not getting any syntax highlighting or anything for that. But thanks anyway.
Yeah, it was
okay, so yeah, I think this will be fine to do it this way. Yeah, I think I can leave that in actually, and it would still work. I'm not sure why my syntax highlighting is all messed up though. React DOM from React DOM. Okay, and then instead of prop types nonsense, we'll do subject, string, greeting, string. I think this will technically work. Oh, whoops. Though I'm toying with the idea of, no, this will be fine. But I could also make an app component that we export default like we do in everything else. Could be successful either way, I think. Okay, so number 4, final extra credit 5. There it is. I think that's what it looks like. Yeah, that actually is kind of funny. I should probably fix that. React fundamentals. If we go to number 4, final 5. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's because this is an HTML file, whereas this one is literally rendering. Hold on a second. Oh, yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, I think the styles get applied differently in the HTML files. Yeah, because we actually remove all the styles. Yeah, so that would be kind of a funny switcheroo to pull on people. They're like, okay, it's all right up here. And now all of a sudden, bam, it's different font and everything's different. We actually do pull that on them because in the very next one, it is different font and everything, but I think that's less of a surprise for people. So
yeah, I didn't barely even notice that, to be honest.
Yeah, people probably never noticed. So I mean, I could just make it a different exercise. Just make one more exercise and say, now we're going to talk about TypeScript. That's probably a good idea. I've taught you how to make JSX elements and how to render, and I've taught you how to make a React component. Now we're going to have a specific exercise for typing that React component with TypeScript. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I think so. So I don't know if you should explain that prop types were previously used when TypeScript perhaps didn't exist, or you might link to some blog post about why TypeScript is helpful for people who are like really new to TypeScript. Because some people might be like, oh, why do I need this syntax, right? Let me just stick to JavaScript. People who might not know any TypeScript.
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. So what this means is I'm adding a new exercise. So we need to rename all these files. You're about to see why I have so much automation set up for like, or maybe you don't even know the automation. You haven't even seen my true form. So this maybe could use some automation of renaming all these, but I think it's fine. Okay, so now we're gonna actually, we'll come up here. We'll duplicate this to 05.md, and then we'll make a 05 tsx and copy all of this into that. Then we'll come down here and do the same thing for all these. You know what? I probably could do, just grab all of these. No, this is going to take longer. If I could just say +1 to all those, but no, that's not, yeah. I'm sure I could automate this if I wanted to.
Oh yeah, like a little CLI.
But this doesn't take me out of context quite enough to justify doing that. I don't know, maybe it does.
I mean, I can't really judge because like I just made like I spent like an entire day making a label maker essentially for updating and creating labels in GitHub. So
oh well, if you plan on doing that a lot, that can be really useful.
Yeah, that's part of the like the future RAID systems. Is there's gonna be a lot of like labels that need to be changed and updated and created and destroyed. And then on top of that, uh, the org defaults only affect like newly forked repos. So,
Oh yeah, so then all the old ones you have to go and fix, and yeah. Okay, so the one thing that my automation will fix is that link, as well as several other links that we've got throughout here. So we'll get to that here in just a second. Yeah, so here we're gonna do TypeScript with React, which that could be a entire workshop, but we're just gonna use one exercise just to give people an intro to this. So this is gonna be to do, and actually, yeah, we've got the TypeScript package too. Let's just do all this is to do. And then this. I'm gonna see about to do. We'll probably have some of these. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Oh. That was when I introduced fragments. I actually need that still. That's weird. There we go. Yeah, I need to hang on to the fragments part of this, which actually I think all that I'm, wait a second. Oh, right, yeah, we actually can go all the way back here for that. So I'm gonna get rid of 3 and 5 here. Just come to 2 and teach fragments right there. Okay, cool. So then coming back to 4, get rid of all of this. And this will be extra credit 3. There we go. See, and this is another link that needs to get updated, but that's what my automation will update automatically. And all of these too, these links right here, those get updated. It's kind of nice. Okay, cool. So we can get rid of that. And this. Okay. Yeah, okay. So for this one, actually, we're just going to export default app. I have a function called app that does this. Let me get rid of that. I don't like that semicolon thing. That's annoying. Oh well. At least I don't have to write it. Man, I wonder if I can. I don't think Prettier has a configuration to say use commas instead of semicolons in type definitions. I don't think that's a thing. Oh well. Okay, cool. So now with that, and here's my 5. And I don't know, this one seems pretty straightforward, so I don't think that there's really any place for this. And this is tsconfig. is set to true. So if I switch that to false, then this should...
I'm wondering, can you use comma for type definitions?
You can. It parses okay, but then Prettier changes it back to a semicolon. But yeah, it parses. So add type definitions for subject and greeting, or for the subject and greeting props. And that's what this exercise would be. You know what? Instead of using the message component, I think I want to have it so that you can accept some numbers or something too. So you have more than just 2 strings. Or maybe, and it would probably be good to have a default too. And some of those could be extra credits, I guess. Yeah, I'll have to look at this one a little bit more. Anyway, let's do fix links. And this script doesn't do a whole lot. It just runs npx on this thing. And it runs this nonsense. Kind of fun, interesting. Yeah, so it's saying unsupported exercise type for 0.5. So let's figure out what that's complaining about. Oh, right. It needs to have a comment at the top saying its name. So this is going to be TypeScript with React. Yeah, okay. Let's try that again. Rats. I forgot what this means actually, so let's go find out. Oh, actually, it's because I don't support TypeScript in this script yet. So, man. Okay, whatever. We'll just got TS and TSX. And we'll just do this same thing over and over. Okay. I think that might actually work. Let's try that.
Kent, another idea for the extra credit regards to the type when it comes to TypeScript is perhaps that the message can take a prop that should be optional, so it should be passed into one component but not the other. That could also be an extra credit.
Yeah, optional props with defaults, yeah, I feel like I had another idea, but yeah.
You said something with object.
Sorry, what?
You said something before with an object or something.
Yeah, I wanted to have it use more than just a single type. Like I'm not here to teach them TypeScript. If they want to skip over this one, just like with prop types, like I never do anything with prop types in the rest of the course. So it's just here to say, hey, we're going to be doing some TypeScript in here. So here's your quick intro to TypeScript with React. And I'm going to assume that if you want to do the TypeScript stuff, that you have a little bit of TypeScript experience, or you're willing to put in some time to get comfortable with the TypeScript, or you're just going to ignore it altogether, which is totally possible. So yeah, I don't have to explore all of TypeScript. I'm not going to do that at all, but yeah, this exercise should expose them to the main things they'll need to do with TypeScript when typing components. And we'll get into typing event handlers too, and like use state and all of those are like the generics that you pass to those will that'll come up too eventually. But yeah, I think we'd probably be okay with some component that allows us to have typed props and maybe some defaults. We are going to get into that in the very next exercise though, where like not only do we have a default for yeah, we've got a default value for the style, but we're typing it default or yeah, optional prop here, but we're also extending the types that you get from React, which is actually pretty cool. We get to that so quickly.
Nice.
Yeah, that's kind of neat. But it's very possible we'll lose a lot of people who don't have experience with TypeScript. They'll look at this and
Yeah.
like, what the devil? Is this like a React element or something? So this will be
Or the intersection seems a bit scary as well.
yeah, yeah. So that'll be interesting. But I need to be able to draw the line somewhere and say, hey, I assume that you have some experience with TypeScript, and I'm going to write a blog post similar to my JavaScript to know for React. I'm going to write a blog post just like this one for TypeScript to know for React. And that's going to have all of the syntax and everything that I expect. I will just assume that people know. And so then they can read this and be like, ooh, I don't know that. Let me go learn that before I go through Epic React. So.
I don't quite remember. Do you tell people in the beginning of the course to join the Discord, or?
Yeah,
because
yeah,
we're there to help them as well.
Yeah, exactly. And so right at
oh yeah, I remember.
First sign up, there's this big thing that says join the Discord, and in the welcome I tell people to join the Discord, and then there's the Discord there too. So
yeah, sorry, remember.
no,
amazing,
right.
amazing.
That's right. Yeah, here we are. So like I said, once you pass 100 votes on a Twitter poll, the percentages do not change. It's like that's it. You've reached everybody you're going to reach, and now I'm an order of magnitude higher, and the percentages are basically exactly the same. So yeah, most people aren't using prop types these days, but people sure want to tell me about it. If I refresh, I'm going to get a bunch of replies.
Oh, Twitter! It's like Stack Overflow light.
Yeah, and what's funny is they're all saying the same thing. Every one of them is like, oh yeah, I used to, but now I have ascended. I'm not making fun of them. That's exactly that's just how it works.
I've ascended.
But it's also when you reply on Twitter, I rarely click on a tweet and reply. I just reply to it, so I don't see the other replies.
Yeah.
So I can understand that it gets duplicated.
Yeah, it's the curse of Twitter. Yeah.
Recursive. Good word for that.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, everybody's saying TypeScript, which of course I knew. I figured that's what this could have also or could have gotten the same results with do you regularly use TypeScript?
Do you regularly use TypeScript?
Hey, search for flow. I just want to see if flow pop.
Yeah,
like
Stack Overflow.
Stack Overflow.
Okay. Anyway, so I think we're gonna stick with what we're at right now with the the way that 0.5 is set up. I'll fill all this in later, and I'll come up with the extra credits and what the actual example is going to look like in the future. Right now, I think this is just fine. So Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'm going to commit all this because we renamed a bunch of files. Progress. Y'all get to see my really great commit messages.
I was wondering, Ken, you're doing this refactoring. It's pretty big, a lot of files. I assume that you do not have any tests for the README files, or
No, I don't. No.
So it's a bit scary, or
I wouldn't say it's scary.
Mm.
Oh, that's weird. We've got a. Oh, whoops. Oh, yeah, these actually, I forgot to update these. It's not scary because I know that when I go to record it, if it's messed up, I'll catch it. Well, that's not entirely true. But when I'm going through and giving workshops on it, then I'll catch it at that point for sure. And then other people will catch problems and they'll contribute fixes and stuff. And I try to read through it too. Like before I give a workshop, I typically will go through the workshop myself. Just because every time I give it as a workshop, it's different than the last time, even just a little bit, because I'll make improvements and stuff. So I typically go through it all. Yeah, and I can fix things up. One problem that does happen with these moving things around and renaming is I'll have like I've got all those links and I have a script to update the main ones, but if one of these markdown files has like go to exercise 3 and see whatever, then now exercise 3 is now exercise 4 or whatever. So those things come up, and normally I'll get a PR to fix that if I miss it. So it's never, I wouldn't say that it's scary, but it is annoying. It can be annoying sometimes.
Interesting thought. If anybody wants to mess around with this idea of creating a library that extracts code from MD or MDX files and then puts them into, say, like a test environment that you can run, that would be interesting.
Yeah, that would be interesting. The challenge there is that sort of approach typically enforces certain things on my code that I write in those examples and stuff, which may or may not be desirable. Yeah, I guess it kind of depends. But yeah, it would be interesting if anybody wants to take a crack at that.
Yeah, because I'm thinking more even outside of your stuff, Ken. I'm thinking like there's
Like
tons
project
of
readmes. Yeah, I've seen
yeah.
stuff like this before. Yeah. In fact, I think stuff exists. Yeah, so you could explore those. They're kind of interesting. It's an interesting idea. Okay, now I'm pulling up the feedback on these exercises. I'm not going to show it to you all though, because people, when they fill these out, they don't expect that I'm going to share it on a live stream. So they might write things they don't want people to see. But I have this giant spreadsheet. Every time you fill in one of these feedback things at the bottom.
I've done a few of them.
Yeah, these things. It goes into this spreadsheet, and now I have 7,500 of these or something like that. 7,800 responses here. And the vast majority of those are since I launched Epic React in September. These start in February of last year. So I've had this for almost a year now. I had a form before this one that started in 2017, and that one got 5,200 responses. So for over 3 years of giving workshops. And some of these come from like front-end masters too. But yeah, so thousands and thousands of responses on these exercises gives me lots of really awesome feedback.
Yeah, in general comments. That's great. I mean, tons of feedback. How much you can improve by just feedback is just fantastic.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Are you gonna do like a TypeScript release for Epic React?
Yeah, when we do the update, then it will be an enormous relaunch. Kind of like when I relaunched testing JavaScript, I added testing node applications, and it was this big relaunch. It won't be as big as the initial launch probably, but it will be like a multiple weeks in advance. I'll be sending out emails and stuff, getting everybody hyped about it. Yeah, it'll be a big deal, and that might happen this year. I don't know. I'm talking with Joel on I think Monday to talk strategy for 2021, and I think for me, TypeScript stuff is the biggest thing for 2021. I'm thinking about doing potentially a special thing for just TypeScript. It might even be free, where it's like TypeScript something.com, and let me teach you all the TypeScript stuff that you need to know. I don't know. We'll see. That is that I often say it's a plan, not a promise. That's not even a plan. That's just a thought.
But one thing I've seen in many Discord servers is that a lot of people, they get into TypeScript, but they struggle with TypeScript and React, combining them together, the props and destructuring and stuff like that. I think the idea is great.
Yeah. I think that that's where Epic React will come in really handy for people. Is that, like, I'm not going to be teaching. If I were to take some time to teach you TypeScript with React, that would be a completely individual workshop. That would probably be part of Epic React eventually. And maybe that'll be part of the release. Maybe I'll create a TypeScript with React workshop. But even without that, having Epic React in TypeScript will be an enormous help for people. So yeah, I'm excited about it. Okay, anyway, so I'm looking at these bits of feedback, and starting back at, man, there's so many. Holy crap. This might take a hot minute. So I think I'm gonna go by exercise too, or as well. So clear all these. We'll start with the first exercise. And we'll clear or close all. And exercise 1. And there are still 700 responses to just exercise 1. Okay, but I don't actually read the elaboration. I just read the not blank stuff. There we go. So of those, we have 210. Okay, so why not query selector and class list? So somebody was asking why we don't use query selector. Oh, why we're using get element by ID and class list. I use class name instead. I have good reasons for that, so we'll just skip that one. Oh, right, and some of these actually are old that I've already read through. So actually, I just want to start in September since I launched. Here we go. Ah, only 198. Here, actually, you know what? I can share these with you because these have 0 identifying information on them. So you can see what I'm looking at. And let's see, word wrap. And here, let's do this. Oh, some people have returns in their thing. Dang it. Oh, well. Yeah. Okay.
I'm curious, what specific feedback are you looking for, or is there any specific feedback you're looking for?
So in the exercise elaboration and feedback, I asked them for like how effective they thought the instruction and the and stuff was. And then I just asked for general comments, and I don't really prompt them for anything specific there. I just, if they have, if anything that they thought was confusing or whatever, then they can explain that they thought something was confusing. Like this last one, and they said it wasn't clear to them that they needed to create 2 divs where they make one div here and then we create an element div here. There was just something confusing to them about that. So I'm just seeing if I can improve the instructions so that nobody has that trouble in the future.
Sounds nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess like with JavaScript or with the JavaScript DOM API. Because you're not actually creating 2 divs. You make an HTML div element. And then inside of JavaScript, you create a div. So I don't know. I guess we can do that.
Something I find interesting, Kent, is I listened to a podcast with Joel and Ryan said that it's hard for him sometimes to explain the fundamentals to people because he knows things so well. How does this work for you? I mean, you're able to explain things like really, really fundamentally, but also like really, really deep, advanced things.
Well, that's nice of you to say. I do
yeah.
struggle with this. Yeah, it's not easy. I don't know. I don't think I always do a good job. You'll notice when you look at the feedback is like really, really wide and varied. Some people like love it like this. I get stuff like this all the time, but then I also get stuff like this all the time. Like the very next line, it is so broad. So it works really well for some people and it doesn't for others. And I just try to optimize for as many as being as helpful as I can to as many people as I can. I don't know. I do try to break things down to their building blocks, which is why we start without even touching React, and we just let's just do JavaScript.
Yeah, we even learned in KCD that you're gonna come across people that Epic React's not for them, and
yeah.
In the long run, that's fine. You know, I even pointed them in towards other resources. Like, cool, this didn't work for you. Well, here's some other resources that aren't Kent's, and some of them are Kent's, and maybe it will work for you.
Yep. Yeah, it's a constant struggle.
Well, it's what is that the saying? You can't please all the people all the time.
Yeah, but you can please some of them most of the time.
Exactly.
Yeah. So and sometimes you'll get in my feedback, I get very specific feedback, like I think you should do this, and sometimes I'll do that, but like stuff like this, they just don't know what my goals are, and so their recommendations just like way out of line for my goals, and I just say, okay, thank you for your feedback.
Yeah, I think mostly I in those things just talked about like what I learned, and part of like just kind of concreting the experience that you're having. I don't really think I had feedback. Like there's like some things that like if there was issues with whatever was there, you know, like it was unclear or something, I'd go make a PR or something. That was
Yeah, and I appreciate those PRs for sure. It's nice. Yeah, okay.
yeah. I forget which mentor it was that I had. It might have been the coding boot camp, but brought up if you have trouble explaining something to someone fundamentally as if they're a 5-year-old, and not in a condescending way. Let's preface that. But like, if you can't like explain it in a layman's way, um, you might want to revisit the topic yourself. And it really stuck with me of like this, like if I can't explain it to other people without struggling, then I should revisit it myself before trying to explain it to somebody else.
Mm. Okay. And sometimes people write me very long pieces of feedback, which is always very appreciated, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, it's really awesome, but sometimes it might take some time to read it.
Yeah, it seems like quite a few people get caught up on where do I start working? Like, which file do I open to get started on this first exercise? And I think most of those people just aren't watching the welcome stuff. Like, we literally go through an entire exercise together, so they're just not watching that, I think, or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, as somebody who heavily moderated the launch, I could second that. It was very common that people would come in asking similar questions to essentially the issue that's coming up with the order of the videos versus the exercises. And then I was asked, did you watch the intro video? Did you watch this one? And like majority of the time is no, I skipped that.
Yeah, I don't know how to fix that. I can't. Yeah, I can't solve that problem for people. So I'm just going to assume that if they don't know where they're going, it's because they didn't watch that video. Because it's.
I mean, there's a way to fix that, but it's a very forceful pattern, which is you lock all the other videos until that one's watched.
Yeah, I suppose we could do that. It's actually probably not a bad idea. Okay, well, anyway. Yeah, I like feedback like this. It's like, hey, Kent, you're good at what you do. Thanks. I've spent a lot of time trying to do good at what I do.
Yeah, coming back to the fundamentals again, though, even I would say teaching those and like talking about those to other people. I think that those are some of the hardest topics, mainly because to understand something that's a fundamental, you have to have such a in-depth and broad knowledge. So it's like breadth, depth for like these very core concepts of a technology or engineering or even computer science, and that's not easy. That's not easy to wrap into a easily digestible thing for other people, you know.
It is not. Yeah, it is not easy. So that's, and that's why you can make a career out of it. Because if it were easy, then nobody could make any money doing it. It wouldn't be sustainable. So.
Mm.
Yeah. There's
Something
no
Kent,
silver bullets.
you mentioned in your in the Epic React podcast is that when people take notes, they should try to write down things sort of in their own words to see if they have grasped the concept. Because if they can't, they will probably write down questions, right? Um, but I think I think the majority of people do not listen to Epic React podcast. They just enroll the course. Um, so my advice is maybe to make a video on your recommended way to get the maximum out of the learning. Reading the recommended blog post, taking notes, etc.
Yeah, I think that's what this is. Yeah, in the welcome and when I explain, I think it's in file structure where I talk about what's in the markdown files and stuff. I say you should really read those, and the people who the people who really want to get the most out of it are going to do those things. They'll just naturally do them. And the people who just want to like speed through it, they're not going to get as much out of it, and they probably wouldn't do those things anyway. Even if I told them, make sure you write down what you're learning and stuff, they're just like, no, I'm learning stuff. Yeah.
That's the mistake I did. I'm not gonna lie. I rushed it through in the beginning. I mentioned it in Discord, and I actually went back and almost repeated the whole course. I think from React hooks.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Got through it really fast, and I was like, wow, man, you're flying through this thing.
And then I was like, this is not working. I need to go back, read the blog post, take notes. I think Jacob Harris, he said it to me as well, how he takes notes and how it helps. And the people are just amazing.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. Otherwise, everything would have been a waste of time if I haven't learned anything.
Yeah, that's the whole goal, to make sure you're learning stuff.
Yeah. There's a concept behind like learning to learn, right? And they even started teaching these in college, right? Like you can take courses or workshops in a lot of colleges and universities now that teach you how to take effective notes and teach you how to do other memorization other than rote memory. Example of rote memory is flashcards. Flashcards, rote memorization. Rote memorization is not fundamentally a bad thing. It is not the only or best way of doing it, though. And for the most part, especially like say like in a stacked module system like Epic React, trying to do rote memorization, you can't do Epic React over and over and over and over and over again and then expect that was like the most effective way of doing it.
Yeah, I'm glad I actually went back and did it properly. Yeah.
The way I did the Epic React was like I went through everything, then I did Kent exercises, and then I just played around in Code Sandbox.
Nice.
I feel like I did that for most of the things.
Yeah, you are on fire. Like I think I remember when you sort of started and you're understanding now. It still blows my mind. Because I enjoy seeing the process in the Epic React channels, and yeah, you're doing fantastic. That's all I can say. Better than me for sure.
It's not a competition, Tiger. There's no prize. There's no prize that Yago's gonna win for doing it faster or better.
Okay, so I just realized that for these first exercises, we don't have a document with the ID of root. So what we're gonna do is gonna get rid of this thing. And then in here, actually the rest of it, I think it's fine. Why is this not complaining? Huh, that's weird.
Something's going on with your ESLint server.
Oh, well, yeah, that's possible. I just reinstalled everything, so maybe that's what's going on. Okay, there we go. Yep.
It's rare, but sometimes I say something helpful.
There we go. Oh, here, let's see if that and we'll mount. Or actually, what if we say if there's not a root element, it will return. There we go. Now it's happy. Here, and actually, say root L equals document get element by ID root. And then we can change this to a let. Or, there we go. Oh, why is this? Oh, yeah, that's right. You can't do that. Bummer. Okay, anyway, so root L. Actually, this might be a place to do that alert because, no, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Here we'd want to check root L. Here, and actually maybe we just do this again. If not root L, then we'll return. Here, let's do this. What's this complaining about? No, useless return. Okay. Window alert. This page or document has no div with the ID of root. Please add one or bug Kent about it. Why not? Okay. All right, that's better. That'll fix that. But just to be certain, I'm going to go in here.
The code that you were just refactoring, was that the module or because I don't quite remember the code?
Yeah. This is the Kent CDOT's React Workshop app that everything is using. All the workshops use this. And I recently rewrote it to TypeScript and broke something. So I'm just fixing that now.
Oh, I see.
So if I go, no, I want the dist index here. Restart this. Okay, cool. So that's working now. And what I was actually trying to test when I realized that this is busted is does hot module replacement, or does it automatically reload? It looks like it does not for this first one. And I don't think there's any way for me to make it do that because it's an HTML file and I remove Yeah, so if I come back over here, yeah, there's no network activity or anything. Yeah, so there's sock.js node right there. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, we're getting this happening. Weird. I would not expect that to happen. Let's go to React. Okay. Oh, hold on a second. I thought I updated this. May need to delete the cache.
What's your TypeScript target compilation?
I don't know. It's whatever Create React app created for me. Yeah, it's 5. We should probably change that actually, because anybody going through this workshop is not using IE. So I could probably look at that option, maybe do, I don't know. I wonder what the most used browser is for people working through the workshop. But it'd be cool if they could see like arrow functions and stuff without, I don't know if this even makes a difference though, because it would come down to the way it's compiled, which is determined by the package.json browser list stuff. And during development, it looks like just the last two Chrome versions.
Yeah, I mean, most besides Firefox, most everything is on Chromium now anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think we're probably okay, actually. The target is irrelevant, probably, because it's not even being used to compile.
You can still try change it to ES6 or ES7 and see what happens to the source code.
Yeah. We're just gonna, why is this happening? It looks like for some reason it's because I changed the wrong file. That's why. That would make sense. We want this file. Okay, so now if I come over here, yeah, I think I do need to restart the server when you change node modules. I need to have it not pop up the little dialog. Okay, no dialog, that's great. And then if I come over here, yeah, I'm not going to get a hot reload. And that's what I want to fix. So, I thought that I managed this somehow. Yeah, Yeah, so in the generated code, we're going to say if module hot accept. So I would expect it to still work, except for the fact that when we load this, we just blow everything away and replace it for what's in the HTML file. So maybe that's what's causing the trouble. But that's all that JavaScript stuff still should be hanging around in memory. Yeah, I'm not sure how to make this auto reload. Because I want to be able to make sure that what they're looking at in here is exactly what they see in the file that they're writing. And I guess for some reason, when I do that, it prevents hot module replacement, or at least live reload.
Is this due to TypeScript, or why does it
No.
not work now?
No, it doesn't work today for like the main thing. That this was prompted by some feedback that somebody left. They said it would be nice if we got live reload. I feel like that may have worked in the past. Let's see if when I was doing the video myself, if this ever worked.
All right, so I'm going to read the world. So I'm going to start out with a body, and it's going to have a div with ID of root, and then a script tag that is typed module. And inside that script tag, I need access to this div. So I'm going to say root element is document, get element by ID root, and that'll give me access to the download that the browser creates for this element. Now I need to create an element using JavaScript, and thank you very much for giving me that nice tip. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab that. We'll get our element, create element, a div, and we'll say element text content is our name hello world, and then our element class name just for funsies is container, and then we'll say root element append element to get that element on the page. Without this element just exists in memory and it's not really doing anything useful. We have to actually put that on the page for the user to see it, and because the root element is on the page right here, once we append this element to that one, it will be visible to the user. So I'll go ahead and save this. And
you're not joking in your podcast about listening to 3xp.
Yeah. Yeah. Could you hear that? I guess I'm sharing my audio too. Yeah. I mean, it's me, and I've taught this millions of times. So like, this is nothing. I could listen to this on 4x, no problem. But yeah. Anyway, it looks like I did get hot module or whatever live reload on that, and I'm not sure how, but I seem to remember that this was a solved, or somebody raised an issue about this and we fixed it or something. Reload.
I'm gonna be tuning out. It's like 11:30 p.m.
All right, have a good night,
time
Tiger.
here.
We'll see ya.
Yeah, thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye. Man, I can't remember. I feel like we had a first exercise. I think that this used to work, and then I changed to change the way the workshop app worked, and I broke it somehow. I can't remember what I did, but this is not great. I need to find the code that is called when you say module.hot.accept. Okay, this is exercise 5. Oh, that's a TypeScript error. Well, what if I go tsconfig and turn off? Oh, that's annoying. Okay, so if we go to 05.tsx, and then we'll come over to sources. Okay, let's dive in. And then we'll put a breakpoint right there, and then go over to 1 HTML. And if I, oh, that's for our styles. And this is for index.tsx. Yes, so this is compiled to have a module hot accept. Okay, so then, how does it reload? Get affected stuff. Maybe resources, I don't know.
All right, so what exactly is going on?
So when you're working through the workshop exercises, the HTML exercises do not reload the page when you save the file. And I think I know why, but I'm not totally sure. I just need to find where it is supposed to do that reload. Because it is supposed to refresh the page, but how do you refresh the page without using location? That's my question. Oh, here we go. Refresh. What is that supposed to mean? Oh, it's just put some breakpoints in there, I guess. Okay.
What's that? What's the status on the Ken C. Dodd's website remix rewrite?
I haven't worked on it in a while because I'm just working on all this stuff. So it'll happen eventually. It is a priority. I'm going to meet with Joel about it next week. They're going to help me do that too, because I don't do design. They do my design. Yeah, this doesn't seem to be at all interesting. The development server is disconnected. Okay, that's a little, there we go. On message. Oh, maybe it's because fast refresh. That might be the cause for the change, because that wasn't available when I was doing this first. Okay, let's try that. I'm going to turn you off. We don't need that. And that anymore. Okay, so we got an event. Message log level. Okay. Huh. It's interesting. We're getting a bunch of messages that they don't handle. Hash. All right. Handle available hash. Most recent hash. Okay. Type OK. Handle success.
Did they have a default for that switch case?
What do you mean?
Like the actual like default on a switch.
Sorry, I don't know what you mean by default what.
Yeah, so on a switch you have
Oh yeah,
the
they
case
do.
option.
It does nothing. Yeah.
And it does nothing. So yeah, so anytime it got that type that was that refresh type, it was just doing nothing.
Yeah, I'm guessing they have code somewhere else that handles that. But this is a good sign because I just changed some code and it did get a message. So the connection is still live. But the type is invalid, apparently.
Mm.
I'm not sure what triggers that, but that's going to be something that's on the other end of this connection. It's a WebSocket connection. So this is going to be somewhere on the Webpack dev server side in the server. Yeah, it's sending an invalid error or a message. Yeah, there's another invalid. There's a hash change. And it just updates the most recent compilation hash. And then we've got an OK. Handle success. Clear errors. It is a hot update. This is not the first compilation. And we try any updates. Is update available? Here's my Webpack hash. It's interesting. It looks like that's not even a thing. Okay. So there you have it.
Is this Webpack under the hood for like the KCD scripts or something?
No, not this is Create React App.
Oh.
Yeah. But I mean this is Webpack. There's nothing Create React App specific about this. This is all Webpack stuff.
Yeah.
So the return value is true. Okay, so what's happening here is module hot status is idle. Okay, yeah, so that's expected. That's weird. How did it jump all the way down there? Oh, because this breakpoint is inside of here. Okay, great. So our result is a promise. And then we're gonna do this, handle apply updates. Okay, good. So we got no error. And here are the updated modules. It's our index because that's the one that's importing the exercise HTML file. Okay. Has React refresh. It does. Wants forced reload. I think I want this to be true, but it's false. Had a runtime error? No. Okay, so this ends up being false because this is falsy. This is truthy, but we not it. And then this is false. Had runtime error. So therefore, because there are specific modules that were updated and we had we didn't have a runtime error or an error when trying to apply the updates, I don't know, then that means we won't do a force reload. And we also have React fast refresh, so we're not going to do a force reload. Okay. So on hot update status is a function. So we're going to call it. Try dismiss error overlay. Only dismiss it when we're sure it's a hot update. Otherwise, it would flicker right before the reload. If we don't, then we're going to dismiss build error. On the overlay, this is not what we want at all. Or it's like, we don't care about this. Yeah, who cares? Yeah, but we've missed the part that I care about. So,
the gist of it is you're wanting development server of Create React app to auto refresh.
yeah, I need this right here to run. So for this to work, I need to turn off fast refresh. And I need to somehow say wants forced reload, which means updated modules needs to be falsy. Handle apply updates.
I don't know if this will help you, but that answer in Stack Overflow is for Create React apps like not refreshing their page. And it mentions something about the Chokedar use polling in an environment variable, which seems interesting.
I don't think this was way back in 2017 as well. I don't think this is quite it, but thanks for searching.
Yeah, of course.
I'm doing weird stuff, so I wouldn't expect answers to my questions to be anywhere. So yeah, I'm used to doing weird stuff. Yeah, I do weird things. So this module hot check thing, I need to make it so that it doesn't call this with any updated modules, and I need to turn off fast refresh. I think. The problem is that fast refresh is really nice. And so I only want it to be turned off for these HTML files. That's a weird thing. Maybe check actually does the replacement. Maybe I missed something there. Let's try this again. Hot status check. Oh, we're setting the status, okay. Hot download manifest. And we're just going to make the request. Okay. And we do have an update, whatever that junk means. Available files map. I'm guessing this 26 is the ID for the file that was changed. Okay, and we're setting the status prepare. We create a new promise here. Hot deferred. Where is that defined? Oh, okay, whatever. We're going to create a promise here. Installed chunks. Okay, it's chunk 26. Okay, I need to know when this promise resolves. I think that's where we're going to go next. Yeah, okay. And we do have a deferred. Oh, yeah, there it is. Hot apply on update. We're going to call hot apply, whatever that's going to do. And then, assuming it'll succeed, it'll go there, otherwise there. Okay, so let's call hot apply. We're going to turn this off now. Hot status is not ready. It is ready, so we're good. Hot apply internal. Hot apply invalidated modules. Yeah, we don't have any. Okay. Uh-oh, where'd we go? Okay, we just jumped over a big function definition. Okay. Hot update ID. Yep, okay. So this should go true. Module ID. It's just the full file path to that file. Get affected stuff. Oh, that's good. Okay. We'll dive into there. Outdated modules. Is that okay? We map those to chain and ID. We've got a queue. Where'd this queue come from? Oh, from that, yeah, okay. Okay, here we go. Self-accepted. module. Oh, so we don't have a module. That's interesting, actually. I'm guessing it's because this is actually a string. But it should be a module because it is turned into, everything's a module. It's turned into a CJS module. So I guess installed modules just doesn't have this file. Interesting. Okay. So we don't, we're not going to reload it because the raw loader presumably doesn't have reloading capabilities. So then my question is, why doesn't the parent accept it? Because the parent is the one that's affected anyway. It was not accepted. So why are you saying it was accepted? Outdated dependencies, outdated modules. So it doesn't have any outdated dependencies, but the index TSX should be outdated because it's using the file that was changed. That's going to skip right over that. Do dispose. Nope. And the queue. Huh. I didn't think that this would still have anything in there. Yeah, I'm pretty much lost now. Now the hot status is idle. Yep. Why is this try apply updates?
So what are you working on now?
I'm trying to make it so that when you're doing the HTML exercises, hot or live reload works. So when you save the file, it reloads. And right now, it is not doing that for reasons I do not understand.
That's weird. What's your build system?
What?
What's your build system? Like, is it Create React App or something else?
Yeah, it's Create React App.
With HTML files?
Yeah. Yeah, so the way that it works is we're using CodeGen to take the HTML files and we generate this code. So, so this file, your entry, looks something like this when CodeGen is done with it. And so we accept any of our dependencies changes and hot reload this file. So it should do a full page refresh if the file that changed doesn't accept hot reload itself. And yeah, so we have imports, dynamic imports for every file using raw loader for the HTML files.
That's neat and interesting.
Yeah, it works great, except right now when it doesn't.
Yeah.
And actually, it occurs to me I should check out raw loader HMR. Maybe they've got an issue already. GitHub. First thing you got to check is, does it say deprecated? That's interesting. Asset modules. Well, let's see what version of Webpack we're running. I can't remember if Create React App is on version 5 or not. I think it's not. Yeah, it's on version 4. Yeah, okay, so where did it go? There it is. HMR, hot, nope. Nothing in here about hot. Not working with require statements. Oh, and thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I need to get that fixed. Yeah, I think my brain is slowing down anyway. So I've gotta call it quits at this point. But I do know for sure that the changes that I made here are necessary. So I'm gonna commit those. This is fix do not alert when not necessary. I don't need the change log to make any sense. I've got this little fun toy that it's got these magnets and stuff, and I can make little shapes out of this. And that's the clicking sound that you might hear occasionally. Come on. Interesting. Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to come back to this thing later. Yeah, I don't need that at all. Get rid of this. And this change isn't needed. Improve instructions on O1. Okay, cool. And then I've got all this feedback to read just for exercise 1, which I will do another time. All right, this is fun. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you some other time. Yeah, I'll probably be live streaming some more next week. Maybe it'll be more fun. So have fun.